Hello, Irregular Nation, and welcome to Wandavision, Episode 7, Spoiler Review. Shit. Again. Shit with this show. I like the show, but shit. Gotta take a drink. That's why I'm drinking a raging bitch right now. Because I kind of want to bitch a little bit too, but, who knows. All right. So, we got, as we continue the, throwback to sitcoms, we went Modern Family throughout pretty much the whole thing, which was cool. It was, like I said, the acting in this show is good. The acting in this show is spot on. Paul Bettany, Elizabeth Olsen, kicking ass. You like the chemistry between them. You feel everything. But, yeah, and then after, they started with the Modern Family style thing, the intro music is actually The Office. And, they do Wanda, and that was cool, because I love The Office. I'm a huge Office fan. F you, Netflix, for losing it, and Peacock for your stupid shit, taking it away. You're going to force me to buy it on Amazon, and I don't want to do that. Even though I've seen The Office millions and millions of times. Millions of times, it's kind of impossible. But, yeah. So they give us that to start off. And throughout the episode, like in the beginning especially, you start to see, like, it looks like Wanda's losing control. And she is losing control. I mean, throughout every episode, you see her kind of like phasing out of the reality that she's allowing herself to live in. But is she allowing herself? Because we get that reveal in this also. Finally, we all kind of knew who Agnes was. You knew she was sketchy. Ooh, excuse me. And you didn't know what she was up to, but you were just waiting for that reveal to come, and it finally came in episode 7. But you're seeing what you did see when things were going on. She wakes up, her kids go, they're trying to wake her up, and her kids are downstairs playing video games, and you start seeing like the controller switch. You see Uno cards. You even see a PlayStation 5 that they're fighting over at one point. Xbox controllers, Atari controllers. You see the downstairs shifting. So it was like all the episodes that she was in, like all the different TV sitcom realities, were trying to phase back in. But she still tries to control them. So you've also been noticing she's going through all the stages of grief. And now it looks like she's starting to finally lose her effing mind, where she's becoming angry too. And we saw that happen. We'll go to some photos to, give you some of that. So let me pull some of that up so you guys kind of know. Because if you're not watching WandaVision, I suggest just get on it. It's a very enjoyable show. If you're expecting downright action, not going to happen. We might get that in the final 2 episodes, because I did hear, but you also did hear this, that the final 3 were supposed to be an hour each. This episode was it says it's 37 minutes, but it's like 32 minutes, because you still get like 6 minutes worth of fucking credits. What the hell is that? I bitched about that in the last one. And they even give us an end credit scene, an after credit scene, even though you still get 6 minutes worth of fucking credits after that. And you're like, that could have just been at the end of the damn episode before you even went into the credits, and then you didn't have to sit there and wait. It was an interesting reveal, I guess, but not really. Not in my mind. We'll see. But the next 2 episodes, they did say the next one I heard was like 48 minutes. So what is that? 42 minutes now, with about 7 minutes worth of credits, maybe 6.5 minutes. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. But I can tell you one thing. We've only got 2 episodes to go, and that it's probably going to get a little dark. It's got to. I mean, the show technically is dark. They're just doing light humor around it because of all the situations. I mean, Wanda's hanging out with a freaking corpse, And then her dead brother, who is also a corpse, is alive, and he's alive within the void, the energy field that's been created. I don't know. Like, I always like to tie it back to, if anybody hasn't seen Annihilation, you know what I'm talking about. It's that energy field that when you go into it, it's another reality. So, but only certain things can cross at times. It's basically whatever they want to allow to come in is allowed to come in. Almost, it's a very interesting thing. But as we go into that, we finally get a reveal also of Miss Monica Rambeau's power. Now, that being said, the power that is shown, because at one point, and the other thing is that everybody thought this was going to happen, that Reed Richards was going to show up and he was going to be the astral physicist, or if I'm even saying that right, that was going to come in and try and figure all this out. But that did not happen. It was going on right here in this scene. This was the scene that everybody thought it was going to happen. And there was a female, I guess she was tied into Monica Rambeau's mother, because her mother was an pilot. I think she was an Air Force pilot or a fighter jet pilot in Captain Marvel and all that kind of stuff. I saw Captain Marvel. So anybody that doesn't know that or hasn't paid attention to that, Monica Rambeau is the little girl from Captain Marvel. And she is a powerful character in the Marvel comic universe. And you see her power on display. Her power actually happens when she goes through the void. When she goes... See, now, like, if you remember from the prior episode, there's Vision busting through it, and he starts getting ripped apart. But Vision's also dead. So outside of this, he can't really exist. We don't know. We do know that Sword was going after his body. So there's, this is the thing that's going to be very unfortunate as we go down the last two episodes. And then there's Monica getting her powers. And you can see like the little, funkadelic colors behind her because she busts through it. She actually becomes one with the energy field that she's coming through. Her becoming a superhero was cool, but in my mind, a little bit underwhelming, because once she gets her power, I thought it was awesome the way she was able to see the energy field, like the cosmic radiation, as you want to say, because don't forget, that's where the Infinity Stones were created. Now, the Infinity Stones are supposed to be destroyed, but the one thing that I have pointed out, and I'm not going to dive into all the deep comic riffs. We're just going off what the show is giving you and what the Marvel Cinematic Universe gave you, because all of that was very loosely based on the comics, like even Infinity War and all that kind of stuff. The only thing that was from Infinity War was the Gauntlet and Thanos. Everything else that happened was all what they wanted to write and what they were making up throughout their 22 movie thing that they were doing. But each person in this show, and when we get the Agatha Hargis, however you say her freaking name, reveal, she has the purple style looking magic. Monica Rambeau has the blue eyes. And then you have Wanda, who has the red from the Mind Stone. So it's almost like they're using the colors of the Infinity Stones, and then Vision has the yellow color. And like I said, I don't sit there and know about all this stuff, but I'm just paying attention to their little riffs and little things that their little beats that they're showing. But Monica Rambeau is kind of like, not like Metamorpho from the DC universe, but she's basically like Captain Marvel almost. So when her powers are revealed at that one moment, and then she has this face off with Wanda, I don't know if I have that pic pulled up anywhere. It's when Wanda is really pissed off. And she's in the front yard. And this is when she busts through, like right here. Like, look at that. That's when she's going through it. She's going through the force field, and she's absorbing it. She's almost becoming one with it. Now, she also was driving this crazy space-looking mobile into it, and it was supposed to be able to go through it, but it wasn't. It was actually being transformed as it was going through. But then all of a sudden, she started thinking, and then you saw her kind of like figuring it out. And then she just busts through it. You hear Nick Fury's voice, you hear Captain Marvel's voice, you hear her mother's voice. And then that's when she has her transformation and she looks through and she's able to see, like I said, all the cosmic radiation, all that kind of stuff. So we really don't know exactly how they're going to use her powers. But when she has that quick face off with Wanda, not sure if I can find it. Here's another photo of her going through. You could see all the funkiness of this. Like it was, I said, like when I say it was underwhelming because we didn't get to see her do anything after that. Like she didn't do anything really after it. You see, there's a shot of Wanda. I really wish I could find that. Not seeing it there. No. Come on, you some bitch. Well, right here, this is that scene right there where she's actually. So I'm not gonna sit there and keep scrolling down. Everybody's gonna be like, "What the hell are you doing?" This is when she has that confrontation with Monica Rambeau, and she is angry, as you can see from that face. That's part of, like I said, she's going through all the stages of grief, and because she's losing her mind in this, and she's doing like all the confessionals like that happened in Modern Family, and she just doesn't know what to do anymore. She's like trying to convince herself that she's okay, but she's not okay. And then like throughout the other aspect of this, the other part of it, Vision is with Darcy, and he actually finds Darcy, and she's an escape artist in the circus. And then it doesn't take long before he does this little mind thing and he clicks her out of it, and she's fine and all that kind of stuff. But, they have like their little comical thing that's going on, and Vision still doesn't know what's happened to him, really. He's still trying to piece it all together. So why Sword was looking for him and trying to reincarnate him is we still don't know. Like I said, I really feel that this freaking show is going to leave us with so much left on the table that I know I'm going to be pissed because you're going to have to wait for like a year and a half. God knows how long for that. And when you're getting only 30-minute episodes, you just feel that they could have just went to 40-minute plus episodes, every single one, to really get the story in there, really flesh some shit out. But back to this, there's this point right here. She throws her down. When this is a scene right here where she's talking to her and they're going back and forth, and she's trying to get through to Wanda, but Wanda's not listening, but listening. And then all of a sudden, Agatha Harkness comes in and she starts manipulating it. But what happens is, if you remember in Endgame, Captain Marvel was able to beat the shit out of Thanos, but the only time Thanos actually figures it out, he takes the Power Stone and he has to knock her upside the head and she goes flying. But even then, Captain Marvel's still fine. And then when Wanda, before Captain Marvel, actually comes in and she is like about to rip Thanos apart, rip him apart just with her power. And then so we already know that she has a lot of untapped power. I mean, she's also controlling an entire town, but at the same token, how much of it is she controlling? And Monica, when she's up in that same position as Thanos, actually, you see her kind of take on the energy and she absorbs it herself and she puts herself down. You see Wanda kind of go back like that and say, "What the fuck?" And even I'm like, "What the fuck?" And that's all we kind of get of Ms. Rambeau's power. And you're like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" We could have had a pretty epic scene there. It's almost like they're holding it. But in the comics, like I said, Monica Rambeau is on par with Captain Marvel. So I really don't think they're going to make her stronger than Captain Marvel, because I don't know if that would make sense with their universe. I mean, because Vision's one of the strongest characters, and he's been dialed down to a puss where he can't do anything. I mean, even in the Avengers movies, he was nothing. He couldn't do shit except for in Ultron, and then after Ultron, they powered his ass down. So, yeah, to me, that was an underwhelming part. And you're like, come on, why did you do that? Why didn't you freaking give us more? So as we go down, and then as that's going on, right? The kids, her two kids, Miss Agatha Harkness takes the two kids. Now, this is prior to the face-off with Wanda and Monica. It's like an eerie kind of scene. You already know that there's something up with her, because how she always just shows up out of nowhere. She's always just trying to help Wanda, and you're like, yeah, you're definitely up to something, bitch. She's up to something. And like I said, I didn't sit there and know all the comics and all that kind of stuff. But the little kid right here, he's the one that has the powers just like his mother. And he looks at Agnes and he just goes, "You're quiet." And you're just like, what? And she looks at him kind of like this. And he's just like, yeah, there's nothing going on in your head. And she kind of gets all nervous and she takes the two kids. She's like, yeah, come on, let's go do this. And then when Wanda goes to go find them, they're kind of gone. But oddly enough, she looks at the TV and they're like these two dancing, I don't know, weird characters. And I say to myself, I'm like, okay, did Agnes put them in the TV? Did she make them those characters? Because the two kids were nowhere to be found when the big reveal comes at the end. And then Wanda goes into that eerie ass fucking basement. And she discovers that we've got ourselves a witch. And her name is Agatha Harkness. And when Agatha looks at her, she reveals herself, and then she puts her back under that like mind spell that she's been doing. And also, by the way, besides the Office and Modern Family beats that they put in there, that catchy little song that they do in the end where, she's doing her thing, and this lady's nuts. She really is fun to watch on screen, this lady. I don't know her name. I always forget it, but whatever. She's just fun to watch as an actress. That is the Munsters. It took me a second to remember that. That's the Munsters. You could buy that writing right there from back in the day. So that was another little fun thing that they put. Let's see here. Oh, that's the Easter egg at the end. Sorry, everybody. All right. We'll stay right here. And then here you go. Here's another couple things. That's the purple hue that I keep talking about. It's almost like all the characters, like these new superhero characters that they're going to put in there, villains, whatever it may be, they have the colors of the Infinity Stone. So I wonder what's coming next. I mean, not saying that has any direct ties, but they're apparently she's taking cosmic energy too, because at the end when we get our little credits and quick credit scene, Mr. Quicksilver reappears when Monica opens up the storm doors and she looks down, and then she can see all the different she can see the cosmic energy being used by Agatha. She sees the purple and all that kind of stuff, and it's like, oh. And that's why I was like, damn it, I really wanted to dive more into Monica Rambeau's power and what they're going to do with that. And I kind of feel that they're going to leave us on a ledge with that, and we're not going to really know what happens. So it's like, damn. And then he just goes, he says something interesting, but you're just like, wait a minute. What are you doing? Are you still under Agatha's control or not? And it's just it drives me kind of crazy. Because they're really leaving you to guess. They want you to keep doing this, which is hilarious. Here I am doing it right here. That's the spot where she reveals herself, and yes, she is creepy. And there was all like those witchy looking vines and shit. And then you see a really dark book, and the book that you see looks like a spell book. It looks like a book of the damned or something. I'm sure it has some freaking name or whatever. And you say, huh. They keep talking about a big reveal in this, and I have that, the big reveal should be Doctor Strange. I mean, he's into all the mystical and cosmic stuff, so why wouldn't he come in while this is all going on? Because that's the one thing I was talking to a friend at work about, and it's pretty funny. When all this goes on, you have all these big heroes. Where the fuck are all these big heroes? There's a huge, massive energy field surrounding a spot in New Jersey where reality is being manipulated and one of the Avengers is in there along with a deceased Avenger, and none of the big guys are around. So it always makes you laugh when all that kind of stuff happens. That's why I always tell people, like, calm down when you want to pick on all this shit. It's fucking fantasy and comic stuff. I mean, if you really want to look at it from a real lens, you'd say, well, where the hell are all the big dudes? Why aren't they there? So I really think that Luke Skywalker reveal that they were saying is going to be Doctor Strange, because I feel that everything's leading to Doctor Strange. And then they talk about the Nexus right here. This was that commercial that they had. And, it's basically about self-help, depression, and all that kind of stuff. You think you're important, but you're not. All that kind of stuff. And the Nexus, I believe, has some type of tie to the multiverse. That is my guess. You even do see on the back shelf, it says multi, like, multivitamins and all that kind of stuff. Multiverse. I mean, because where did this chick come from? Where did Agatha Harkness come from? Where did she get that book from? I mean, there's all different types of questions. Here's like part of the song. Like that's that scene right there where she's controlling, I guess, the dead body of Quicksilver, but she also changed the way he looked. So there's a lot of things to be questioned. Yes, they gave the reveal of that she's been the one behind this the whole time. Like this was going on during the little reveal at the end. They're showing everything that she's been doing. But at the same token, Wanda's still manipulating things. So it's like, I don't know. I have no idea. What are we getting? A Marvel-style Charms? If anybody remembers that from back in the day with the 3 witches and all that kind of stuff. I mean, she's another witch. So I really don't know, y'all. I really don't know. And then this was also interesting. I don't like this. when the fight's happening, everybody just kind of stops. This is when Monica and Wanda are going at it, and everybody's just kind of like, yeah, all right. Like, honestly, don't know, everybody. But that's pretty much everything that went down in episode 7. Here's more of that Munster style writing right there from her reveal. And yeah, honestly. And I think this also might have a couple riffs to it. I mean, the milk carton kept changing into all different style milks, and you see a missing right there. Child, I mean, I don't know. I honestly don't know. Like I said, I just think they're gonna just leave us with a lot of questions on purpose. Here you go, everybody. As I kept talking about the monsters, there you go. There's the comparison right there that I was telling you about. Yeah. So we're going to leave it right there. Anything that I might have missed, hey, go down in that comment section. Please let me know. Like I said, I wasn't going to sit here and dive into all the different comic lore because, like I said, all this stuff is always loosely based on it, and it's what they're trying to create, and they're trying to, they put the characters' names in there, they put some of the powers in there, but they're still going to do what they want to do. So, yeah. We will see. And that was that. There's the grid, everybody, that I keep talking about. And then that was that space style like rover that she was driving into it, and that thing could not make it through. But then old Monica had no problem going through it. And I really would have loved for them to dive a little bit more into her, because her character actually is intriguing me more than anything else. We already know about Agatha and Scarlet with their, powers and all that, but this one right here, I want to know what's going on with her. And is she supposed to be our hero? Is she, or is she not? Is she just a side character? We don't spend enough time with Sword. I will say that. We need to spend a little more time with Sword. So hopefully in this next episode, episode 8, we get some more answers. We get some more stuff. I do enjoy the little comical commercial stuff where they throw you those little Easter eggs and they make you think a little bit, but no more with the end credits. Enough. Fucking A. Give me, if it's 48 minutes, I want 47 minutes worth of content with a minute of credits. Okay? Thank you. That's what I want. That does not mean that is what we're going to get. But that's what I'm going for. So, I hope you enjoyed this Wandavision. I couldn't even say that right. Wandavision episode 7 spoiler review. And I'll check you all later, all right? So I want you to make sure and go hit that like, hit that subscribe, and become a part of the Irregular Nation, everybody. Because why wouldn't you want to take a ride on the irregular side? And hey, we can go through our own void. Look at all the colors behind me. Who knows where it might lead you? See everybody later.